What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 ways to market your company with no money. Look, I was in that seat. A lot of people don't know this. When I got into the construction space, I joined a company that was doing $200,000 to $300,000 a year in gross revenue, and I was tasked to grow that company. I was basically director of business development, I was over sales and marketing. And there was no marketing budget, there was no pipeline, there was no social presence, there wasn't even a CRM. I had nothing when I started. When I left corporate America and got into the construction space, there was nothing. There was no resources, there was no processes. It was literally a guy with 2 or 3 helpers, some subs, doing $200,000 or $300,000 a year in total revenue, gross revenue. And they hired me to come in to be their basically director of business development. I was over sales and marketing. And in the first 6 months, I learned how to prospect, gain clients, gain proposals, quote work. I never quoted a construction project. I was quoting kitchens and bathrooms, which I still believe is some of the most remodeling a kitchen is some of the most complex quoting you can do because of so many unknowns and making things work with what's there. And I learned how to do this in 6 months. And so there are 5 things specifically that I did to gain growth. So to put it in perspective, I joined this company, I think it was 2013. In 2012, they did $250,000 in total revenue. My second year there, we did 2.5 million. And so I basically 10x. It wasn't just because of me, but I helped 10x this company in the course of 2 years. And I started with and continue to do the things I'm going to talk about with you today. I've lived this. Trust me, it works if you're just willing to stick to it and build a process consistently. So number one thing you can do is prospect. Outbound calls, texts, and DMs. Look, there's a right and wrong way to do this. The wrong way is to blow people up with some buy my type message. That doesn't work. One of the biggest things you can do when you're doing outbound is find a problem you can solve for them that has nothing to do with you winning. So what I used to do is I would call referral partners, real estate agents, other contractors, other trades, HOAs, people who had connection with my ideal client. When you're trying to sell home services, prospecting to homeowners is not a thing. It just doesn't work. There's door knocking, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. But outbound messages, I primarily focused on people who were around the people I want to do business with. So it was even mortgage brokers, financial advisors, real estate agents, architects, engineers, the people who had the clients, the projects I wanted to do in the kitchen and bathroom space. And one of the biggest problems I realized that I could solve is the person they were currently using was not communicating professionally or effective enough. And so I used a very, very simple question. And it's, would you benefit from a relationship with a high communicating local general contractor? And I said that 100 to 500 times to 1,000 times to several thousand times, and eventually built a pipeline of people who are bringing me business on a regular basis. You'd be amazed at how many people out there are looking for somebody like you to solve a problem and they don't know you exist. There's somebody right now saying, I've called 10 contractors and no one's called me back. Or I called 10 and 2 showed up and no one actually sent a proposal. This stuff happens all the time. Me being a high communicating person and someone that has discipline and organization, I knew I could outperform them in those behaviors. So simply picking up the phone and calling people. One part of this that I underestimated early on that I wish I would have figured out sooner. Some of my best referral partners were my competitors who didn't want the projects I was going after. No matter what size project you take on, there is somebody out there who that project is too big for them and that project is too small for them. So you have smaller guys who can't handle, let's say, the $50,000 kitchen. You have other guys who won't touch a kitchen under $100,000. And so those people became great referral partners for me because I was looking for projects between $50,000 and $150,000. There are people that would not touch that way too big for them, and there are people that would not touch that way too small for them. I was calling like high-end custom home builders saying, hey, if you have any previous customers that want their kitchen remodeled, because you build custom homes, you don't want that little project. I'm like dying for a 6-figure project. It became great, mutually beneficial relationships because they could say no by referring them to me and knowing I would deliver on that, as opposed to taking on a project that they could not do profitably. So outbound prospecting, whether phone call, DM, email, text message, whatever, outbound with an intent to solve a problem for them. That's not like, hey, let me know next time you want me to quote your roof. That's not the way you want to do it. You want to build a value exchange relationship by helping solve a problem for them, by determining a problem that they have that you can solve. Number two is door knocking. So this is obviously a lot more prevalent in the roofing space, but it can be work in really any service environment, whether you're a pressure washer, remodeler, roofer, gutters, windows, concrete, it doesn't really matter. But there's 2 types of door knocking. One is B2C, and B2C works really well in certain types of trades. What worked really well for me, so I was a roofing contractor in a non-storm environment. So all of the roofing projects I sold were retail. And so I didn't door knock homeowners, I door knocked people who could hire me. So I door knocked adjusters, I door knocked contractors, I door knocked HOAs, I door knocked architects, I door knocked people, again, similar to the prospecting, that had access to projects I wanted. And so door knocking can work really well. You don't have any money, go get in front of people. You don't have a project to do today, go find a project to do today. I'm not a huge fan of door knocking because I think it's slow and I think it's inefficient, but it does really work for certain industries. Like I have a client right now, they're an $8 to $10 million roofing company. They have 18 sales reps and they knock 500 to 1,000 doors a day. And he's grown 300% the last couple of years. So it works for certain industries. For me, when I was doing roofing on the retail side, or you're more of an interior guy, a flooring guy, like you're a flooring guy right now, the best thing you can do is go door knock and walk into general contractors' offices. Go walk into the painting office. Go walk into the cabinet office. Those people have the client base that you're looking for. So just walk in, tell them who you are, tell them what you can do. Even going to a flooring supply retail house, say, hey, if you have any clients looking for install, I'd love an introduction. That's really great door knocking or drop-in. So there's B2C, which is obviously, knocking business to consumer, knocking on home. Number 3 is content. But I want to talk about 2 different types of content. There's inbound content and outbound content. So inbound content is creating content on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, in order to attract an audience. That's inbound. You're pulling a client base in to reach out to you. But what really, really is impactful and works very quickly is outbound content. What I mean by outbound content is the content related to in other communities or other people's audiences. So places like local community Facebook groups. You can go engage and put content in there related to solving a problem to make it more of a putting it in front of people. You can hyper engage in the comment section of people in search of in those community Facebook groups. You can also be very heavily engaged in Nextdoor. So Nextdoor is an independent app related to your immediate geographical community. And so if you live on one side of town but work on the other, Nextdoor may not be the best fit for you because it works on your geographic home location. Think community like Facebook, but on its own app. But those are 3 things from an outbound. I would say get engaged in local Facebook groups. Each Facebook group typically has solicitation rules on days you can and can't post about your business. So make sure you understand the rules of that specific community. Heavily engage in solving problems in the comment section. So if you're a painter and someone's asking for a pressure washer guy, refer a pressure washer guy in the comment section. You'll become known as a high value member of that Facebook community because you're constantly referring people of value. And then Nextdoor is a place, again, you go engage in posting and commenting on things, specifically people in search of. ISO, you'll see it post as ISO pretty often. So that means in search of, and go bring value to people. Go put yourself in front of people in a value add position while also doing the inbound content. So on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your YouTube channel, creating content to once someone finds you, it pulls them in, but then go out and go hunting for things as well. Going out and engaging in and adding value in other people's communities like Facebook groups and Nextdoor. Number 4, thing you can do to market your company for free. Asking existing relationships for referrals. So I would highlight on ask current and previous customers for referrals. But if you're just getting started, you don't have that yet, go to people who already know, like, and trust you. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your aunt, maybe it's your brother, maybe it's a friend at church. Go to people you currently have. Like, even just scrolling through your phone book on your device and figuring out who knows, likes, and trusts you right now, and asking for referrals. It's one of the first steps I've always had when bringing on a new sales agent. In every business I've had, one of the first things I tell them to do is, hey, reach out to everybody in your phone book to let them know what you're doing now and who you're looking to be connected with. That almost always sparks an immediate inbound of referrals from people who currently know, like, and trust you. So use your friends, use your family, use your relationships at church, and don't use them in the sense of trying to take from them. People are going to mishear me on that. Don't use them, but connect with them to say, hey, I'm looking to be connected with people who are looking for. If you know anybody, I'd love an introduction. Or, hey, I was doing this, or hey, now I'm doing remodeling, or now I'm doing roofing, or now I'm doing floors, or now I'm doing bathrooms. Hey, if you know anybody looking to get their bathroom done, I'd love an introduction. That utilizing that known, like, and trust audience can severely increase the amount of opportunities you get very, very quickly. So start with previous customers. If you don't have a list of previous customers, start with the people who currently know, like, and trust you, and simply ask for the referral. And I joke about this all the time. Even at McDonald's, they can get people to say, do you want fries with that? All I'm asking you to do is ask the question. Do you know anybody who would benefit from a relationship with a bathroom remodeler? I'd love an introduction. A simple question. Don't oversell them. Don't write this 13-paragraph value prop. Simply, do you know anybody who would benefit from a relationship with, insert whatever it is you do, can be incredibly powerful in helping you gain more ability to bring in ideal customers for no additional cost. Number 5. So number 5 is one that even WinRate has more recently taken more seriously, and it's actively managing our Google My Business profile. So I'm not suggesting you to go build a website, because I don't think most new businesses need them immediately. If you don't have money to spend, don't start, like, if you don't have clients creating revenue right now, don't start with a website. But you can start actively managing your Google My Business. There are several things you can do to update it on a weekly basis. Things like new photos, things like updated hours, things like updated services, simple comments and posts. Like, you can post on your Google My Business similar to how you post on Facebook. But actively managing on a weekly basis your Google My Business profile can severely help you getting in front of the right people more often. So these are just 5 things I know you can do for no money at all. But if you're tired of being broke because you ain't got no money to do these things, or to go market yourself the way that you want, start to increase your activity. Everything I just gave you is in your control. Everything I just told you to do is 100% something you can own all the way through completion. But if you're struggling knowing where to start with the information I gave you, if you're struggling knowing how to take the first step, or what's good and what's bad, click the link below. Let's have a conversation. Look, I and myself and the coaches on the WinRate team are interested in helping you for free. We constantly and regularly help people on a free 30-minute discovery call to answer your questions. It's not a 30-minute discovery call on what is coaching like and what does it cost. It's what is the biggest problem you're dealing with, and then we help you with it. If you decide you want to sign up for coaching, cool, but that's not the desired outcome. So if you're struggling to figure out how to get started on any of these 5 things, click the link, schedule a call so that we can help you win fast and win often.